Good morning, scholars, and welcome to another reading lesson. So we're going to pick up what we were doing yesterday, which was reading a story about forces and motion. We know that for reading, we've been learning all about forces in motion. Forces can push and forces can pull, right? And motion sounds like move. If you take a look at the illustrations, you see that they are all in motion and they're caused by a force. So something is pushing or pulling them, whether it's gravity or wind or the engine. Look at that. So there are many things that push and pull and cause us to go into motion. Our big idea, ding, is what makes things move, and we know that those are forces. Okay, so, oops, I'm going to bounce back and forth. Okay, we were reading this story yesterday. It's a long story about forces by Joy Brewster. And I'm going to flip through just to review. We learned new vocabulary like force, gravity, which is something that pulls you down to the ground, a machine, motion, pull, and push. And remember, we saw those words in bold. Miss Paulino told you bold words like this, push and pull. They stand out to catch your eye. And it could be because they're important words. And in this case, they're vocabulary words. So we talked about the introduction, which introduces the idea for the whole reading, and we were talking about pushing and pulling. So in this picture, they're pushing, and in this picture, she's pulling. Those are both types of forces. We went into chapter 1, what is a force, and we know a force is something that can push and pull and put you into motion. So we look here, they're pushing the snow across, and it's rolling and building, building, and building. It's probably going to make a snowman. And then if you look here, they're pulling on the rope, kind of like tug of war. We moved into chapter 2, and how do we use forces? Why do we use forces? So a type of force here that is pushing is this machine, and that machine was moving snow out of the street so that other cars could drive behind it. We also talked about wind being a force, a wind which was pushing the windmill to make electricity. We also talked about this ski lift, which is a type of force that is lifting people and moving them up the mountain. Then we got to chapter 3, how do we use forces to change motion? So we were talking about how you can move different directions, and we looked at this guy that's snowboarding, and he's on the mountain. He just took off this rock, and what's going to pull him down? Gravity, remember? So gravity keeps your feet on the ground. If you go up, you will come down. If you jump, you will come back down. We also talked about friction. Friction is rubbing. So if you kicked a ball on the ground, it would slow down eventually. It wouldn't just keep rolling forever, right? It would stop because of friction. That's the rubbing. So we talked about these boys playing soccer, that the soccer ball has friction because of the ground. We also talked about this hockey player, that the puck and the ski rink, there's friction there and the puck will slow down eventually. Then we moved on to, still chapter 3. We were talking also about how there can be a little force, a little push, or a big force, a big push. So we were looking at the dogs here. There's only 2 dogs. And there's one person on the sled. It might be moving slow, so they're pulling kind of slow. But if you have a whole bunch of dogs and there's only one person still on the sled, that's a bigger pull. They're probably going to go a lot faster and a lot farther. We also talked about weight too. Weight makes a difference. So if you look, this dad and the daughter are sitting on the sled. It's going to be heavier. They probably need a really big push. Where this boy's sled, there's nobody on it. So he doesn't have to put in a big push, right? Or a big pull. It's light. This one's heavy because people are sitting on it. And then we came to the conclusion, which concludes or wraps up the big idea of the reading, that a force is a push and pull. A force can make an object move. A force can slow or stop an object's motion because of friction. And we use forces every day Forces can be big or small. We talk about all these pushes and all these pulls. We know forces can push, forces can pull, forces can push, forces can pull, and we can be in motion. Okay, I know Miss Paulino just said that all really fast. I hope you understood it though. I was just going over yesterday's reading. So if it was too fast for you, don't worry. We read over it really slow yesterday. Okay, so we talked about forces being push and pull. We talked about motion, which is you moving or things that can be moved, right? And then we read our forces. And now we're going to get to our thinking map that we were going to do yesterday, but the video was really long, so we're doing it today. So if you have your circle map from yesterday, go ahead and get it. If you want to draw your own circle map, you can. Remember, a circle map has a tiny circle inside and a big circle outside. And then inside my circle map, I have our story, but you could write the word forces, or you could even draw a guy skiing or a woman skiing. Okay, remember, a circle map lets us describe details of the story, so important parts of the story, and we're going to write them down. So Miss Paulina just flipped through the whole story, and let's think, what will we be learning about? And don't just think about the pictures. I don't want you to think, we were learning about the smell. No, what are those big words Miss Paulina was using? Forces, right? So remember, forces can push, forces can pull. The first word I want to write is forces. F O O or S. There is a bug bothering me because I had my door open because it's hot in here. Forces is it. I'm just guessing. Forces. That's not actually how you spell forces, but I tried my best. So forces. What other types of words or ideas came to your mind when you think about the reading that we did? Forces. Push. Push. P. U. Hey, that's our letter this week, but we're learning about long U. Long U. And that's short U, right? Sh. What makes the sh sound? SH. We know SH make a sh secret sound. Sh. Push. And I'm going to draw a picture. I'm going to do a stick figure. Miss Paulino or somebody. It could be anybody. And they're pushing. So I'm going to put their arms out like that. Push. Forces can push. What else can I remember from the reading? Pull. P. P. O. I'm going to guess O. Pull. Or it could be P. O. P. O. Is it an O or a U, Miss Paulino? You know what? I'm going to say a U would go better there. And you do actually spell it with a U too. Pull. Now I'm going to draw a picture of a boy pulling something. Here. And he's going to be pulling on let me give him a nice shirt. I was going to do a stick figure. There's the shirt and pants, and I'm going to draw him pulling. There's a rope, and he's pulling on it. I'm going to draw his hands trying to reach over there. Not the best, but he's pulling. Okay, I'm going to think of the big word that we learned about. When you jump, it pulls you down to the ground. It started with a G. Oh, gravity, right? All right, gravity. Gravity. G. A. Gravity. Grav. T. Gravity. That's almost it. Okay, gravity. And I don't really know how to draw gravity, but I'm going to draw some grass and I'm going to draw something falling. What if I threw something up, it would come back down, right? It doesn't just stay in the air and float like magic. That would be cool. But it comes down because gravity pulls it to the ground. So I'm going to draw a ball. If I threw a ball in the air, I'll do like a baseball or something. If I drew a ball in the air, it's going to come back down. So I'm going to draw like some lines to make it look like it's falling down. And I'm actually going to draw an arrow too. Gravity. Awesome job. Okay, I want you to think of one more idea from this reading that when you think of the story forces, what did you learn? So we already wrote forces, push, pull, gravity. What else could you write? We did learn another word. Can you think of it? Go ahead and put it on your circle map. Pause the video. Go ahead and write that special word. I'm not going to tell you what it is. And then play when you're ready. Okay, scholars. I know I'm down there and I'm also up here. This is a video I filmed earlier and I didn't like the second half of the lesson, so I'm going to stop the video here. Make sure you finish all of your circle map. You wrote that special word on this. Hopefully you know what it is. And then that's it for our reading lesson for this. I'm going to jump into our long letter U to show you the worksheets we can do and then guide you through our math lesson. Okay, so I know that was kind of silly. I couldn't figure out how to crop it, so I just re-recorded it. Okay, that's it for today's video for reading, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.